Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, we have some interesting video for you today. So this is my new iPad Pro 4th Gen M2. I gotta tell you, it's freaking snappy. I'm really loving this thing. Man, I don't know why I didn't buy iPad Pros before. Oh yeah, that's right, because they didn't have an M2 chip in them. Anyways, so I've run external monitors before with some success on iPads. Because we've had, like the lightning adapter to HDMI and all that jazz, right? Well, this is pretty straightforward. It's a Type-C port. Get yourself a display adapter that'll convert to either DisplayPort or HDMI and plug in and voila! Okay, so this is screen mirroring. Okay, so what that has is what that gets. Okay, they're identically set that way. However, there are some good and bad points to this stuff, okay? First of all, you're going to find out you ain't got no audio, honey, and it's going to drive you nuts. So, I had that problem this morning, and I looked it up, and I come across a video, and this person is talking about using a Bluetooth speaker. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've spent enough money in the last few days, even on an Apple Pencil. I'm not going out to buy Bluetooth speakers. Forget it. There's got to be another way around this. And of course, nobody has ideas, even on the Apple forums, right? So I'm like, oh, I have an idea. So I checked the back of my 4K display, and sure enough, it also has a speaker out jack. Now, there's no built-in speakers on my display, okay? And even my 32 inch is set up the same way. However, one thing you'll note is whenever you plug an HDMI direct into the back of your Mac, audio gets lost until you go to your settings and switch it to go to your headphone jack or speakers. Well, we don't get that option here, okay? This is iOS, not Mac OS, right? So I thought, all right, well, I've got a speaker jack. I've got a cable, so I pulled the cable off of my Windows computer and put my extension on because I need a little bit more length. Plugged her into the back and ran her through my sound system box, and voila, I've got audio. But it's a really weird thing with the audio that I'm going to show you guys. Okay, before we get to that though, I want to say that in screen mirroring mode, this has some good and bad points. Even when you take off screen mirroring, it's definitely got some good and bad to it as well. Now, one of the programs I happen to use for my lyric program is OnSong. And you'll notice all we get is a title down below on the screen that says the name of my song and what key it's in. But here on the iPad, I've got access to my lyrics, it switches to the next song, etc. It's like, that's not what I want. Now, on my last iPad, I just used a lightning connector to HDMI, and I could actually get the lyrics to come up, but it wasn't without its issues either, okay? So, it's like, well, not all programs are going to be friendly here, but in mirroring mode, of course, you're going to be swiping up on your tablet in order to close things, right? So that's all right. So this person says, turn off the mirroring. So you go in here. Now here's another thing that's really stupid. Okay, built-in Retina display, that's the iPad. Display zoom, default, or more space. Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't seem to have any noticeable effect. Even on here, if I go deep to here and I want more space, it's not going to do anything for me. Right? So I've done that. I click it, more space, done. Okay, where's my more space? I don't get any. I have no idea. It says allow display mode changes as well. Turn that on. Now when this is on, display mode will change to match dynamic range and frame rate of the content you're viewing. This may result in flickering or long periods of black whenever content changes. I would suggest leaving that off. Anyways, so default, again, back, done. Okay, so that's fine. Now, going into the arrangement, this is where she says you can turn off mirror display. And I thought, okay, great, because I have another program that I'm going to show you first, and that is Guitar Chord Compass. And this is as far as I can get. is like ghosted out. So there's a button I'm supposed to hit for tips and stuff in order to activate this. Well, it won't let me do it. I'm like, I'm really not happy here, okay? Some programs are going to act like this, some aren't, okay? So anyway, so we go in here and we turn off the mirroring thing. Good, great, it's gone. Yay, I got my mouse. Oh, look at that, I even got a full screen. No black bars either, which is another benefit, right? Now, you'll also notice that the mouse gets stopped on either side, so you are not mirroring anymore, right? But you can just leave that open if you want, or, you know, maybe, I don't know if we can turn this off like this, maybe. Nope, we can't even put that to sleep. Okay, so, but now I go into my chord program. Oh wait, I still have an issue. It's like, oh, okay, so if we have set, what's this do for us? Nothing. What if we go close, and oh, there's my calendar. Now up here, when you're not mirroring, you'll see these little 3 dots. You can go full screen or minimize another window, whatever. Close. Okay, so back to this again. Oh look, if I relaunch, I'm fine. And then I can click my close button here, and now I have access. I also have sound. Okay, so now I gotta look for those little 3 little buttons there, and I can just go close. Now, of course, there are some apps that are definitely not going to run full screen, obviously. Now, here's where things get a little more interesting. DaVinci Resolve, right? Everybody wants to do video editing. So, that's it. That's all you get. And it's like, are you kidding me? Like, hello, where's my program? Oh yeah, that's right. We turned off mirroring. So now we got to go back over to the iPad here, turn that back on, tell it to set, close that out, go fire up DaVinci, and look at that, it works. Apple, get off your buns and fix this. I mean, seriously, this is nothing but a royal pain in the keister. Okay, and then of course, now we don't have that, but we can go down below here and we can at least close it out that way. But we still have to go up here and swipe it out so that it actually closes the program completely out, right? So there are some little problems with this, all right? But at least a lot of these problems, you're going to figure out which way you have to go with what. Games, right? I love playing games. Truck 'em All is one of my favorites lately. Now, this is not a game that rotates with the screen, so it's sideways over here, but at least it's proper over here. And I can take my mouse and things are going squirrely, and this is not what we wanted to do. Get over here. Come on. Oh man, seriously? Okay, so back to this, back to settings, back to arrangement, kill that off. Now we got a regular screen. Now let's go back to truck 'em. And now everything's working normal. Well, there you go. We can go play our game. So there's definitely some drawbacks, and of course in each window when we're not mirroring we have that little 3 tabs, and we can just close out the app completely, which is kind of nice that it does that. So browsing the web, here we go. Chrome, YouTube. Okay, now where's my search button? There it is. Now I'm going to search via my channel so I don't have to go through a lot of stuff. Okay, so Kevy's RC and Music. Get my list up. Let's go play a video. No sound, right? Click on the window. Every time you launch a video, you have to click on the window to get your audio.
Today we went to Best Buy.
It's kind of dumb.
And picked up an Apple Pencil. I figured, well, I've got an iPad
But at
Pro.
least it works. You know, so that's a good sign. At least it works. If we go back to on song now, oh, look at that. We got a flash and then nothing. And it's like, where'd it go? So if we try minimize, it just does that. I've had OnSong working on an external display before. Kind of funky to do, but it worked. Now it doesn't. So if I say move it to the iPad, oh look, I can move it to the iPad, but I want it on here. I'm not going to get my way. That sucks. Okay, so now we got to get out of there and back to here again. Okay, so there's definitely some bad points to doing this, obviously. Some programs are going to work, other programs not going to work, okay? Let's try another program with mirroring turned off. Come on, there we go. And we'll go into our list here. We got Truckum, Word Games, DaVinci. Where's the one I'm looking for? Ah, right here. Okay, so continue, yes. So now I can read my Bible if I want to. Shows up a little differently than it does on the main screen. But at least that works, which is funny because OnSong doesn't want to, right? Most other programs have no issues, okay? If you're on the Sketch It program, okay, so you can do something here. Can we do anything? Nope, nope, that doesn't work. How do we get this to work? Right? Close, settings, turn mirroring back on, and then we can go back to this, and now we can, hopefully, nope, we lose access. Fun. That's just, congratulations, Apple, you really messed up. So yeah, not everything's gonna be that all peachy cream and great when it comes to doing this whole external screen thing. So there's gonna be some obvious problems. Camera though, that's kind of awesome. At least I can do the camera thing. Okay, definitely need more lighting. So whatever I do here does the same thing, right? So that part at least works, okay? And we got the back camera as well. And of course we get out of doing this. Now, what happens if we turn off mirroring? This is going to be interesting. Okay, so we want our camera. And we get the small little picture as if it was an iPad. And then we flick it around and we get that. So, yeah, and we can actually, we can't go to full screen mode, but can we stretch this out? Yes, we can. We can stretch it out. So, yeah, there's definitely some good and bad points to all this, guys. However, if you had a hard time getting sound, as long as your external display has a speaker out port, just plug it into a set of speakers that you already have, or I've got this sound studio control center that I use for my computers and for my music stuff, and you know, but either way, if you don't have Bluetooth speakers, plug in a set of headphones into your head or a small set of cheap external speakers, you know. And that's the only way you're going to get any audio, because your audio from your iPad, you can't reroute. On the Mac, you could reroute and say, oh, I want it to here, right? Well, you don't get that option under iOS. So Apple definitely has some things to definitely figure out. But anyway, so if we turn mirroring back on, we can say, okay, we can get out of here, we can get out of here. Now, we want to just take our iPad with us, so we can just unplug it, no big deal. And our iPad is legitimately back to normal. Okay. Now, if we go back into settings over here, display and brightness. And here, light, dark, text size, automatic. So I've got a full screen back up on here. So we're all good to go on the iPad. Everything's back to normal. We can then shut it off if we want to, or leave it on, whatever we're going to do. Or if we figure, oh, wait a minute, I got to do something else here, plug it back in. Okay? It is hot swap, which is nice. Stage manager with an external display. Okay, now you can hit continue with stage manager, or you can also just use screen mirroring. Do it that way. And voila, you can get in. Either way, there's more than one way around doing things. And I gotta type in my passcode. Okay, so all in all, it has some workability to it. But the only way you're running a video editor on an external display with any kind of size is to leave screen mirroring turned on. You cannot turn it off and still get DaVinci to run or whatever. It doesn't want to do it. If you're an on-song user like myself, forget it. You're yanked. It's not going to happen. Camera works fine. You know, your surfing of your internet is going to work fine. Every time you want to watch a video on YouTube, you got to click in the window or you get no sound, which really sucks. But you're also not going to get any sound unless you have an external set of wired speakers hooked up to your display, if your display supports that feature. Otherwise, you're stuck on Bluetooth. You're going to have to set up some Bluetooth speakers and get those to work. That's the only way it's going to happen. So, yeah, and it has some problems, obviously, with other programs where some you can mirror, others you have to turn off mirroring. It's just whatever, you know, it's really finicky. But, you know, this kind of sucks that on default, even with mirroring, you don't actually get a full screen. And if I wanted to try and get a larger screen going, even here for the default zoom, more space means I get more screen, but I don't. Like, why give us a feature that does absolutely nothing? You know, that's the dumb part. The iPad, Retina display, you know, default display zoom or more space, you know, you've got that. But, of course, things can go really funky with that, especially when you unplug your screen. You're going to have to reverse everything you did. You know, it's just, I think it's, in some ways it's more trouble than it's worth at this point, but in other ways, as long as you're used to knowing what you have to do in order to make this work for each program, whether you have to have mirroring on or not, then that's fine. But there are some programs that just absolutely will not go to an external display, like OnSong, for example. You know, that's not going to happen, right? Which I did have it working on a 7th gen iPad, so there's no flipping excuse why it shouldn't work here, you know. And it's not a setting. I've been through everything. And yeah, that's the way she goes, guys. Anyway, that's what I got for you, and some helpful information at least. So if you had a problem with audio, now you know how to fix it. But stay tuned for more. We got more experimenting to do, and I still have not done the review on this thing yet. But I thought we'd start with this one for now. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.